our show, Radhika Talks. Today in our studios, we have a very talented young lady, and you'll see why by the end of the show. We chat to Kirti Kamal, the owner and head chef at Boutique Boulangerie in Durban. Kirti, thank you for being on our show today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, Kirti, I would like to know, how does a lady who's studying anthropology and art end up becoming a talented chef as yourself?
Well, I've always had a love and passion for cooking and baking, but in my second year of studying anthropology and art history, I entered the Sunday Times Young Chef of the Year competition, and it was a great experience for me, my first professional experience. And even though I didn't win, that's what led me to actually enroll at Christina Martin that same very year in September.
And who was your inspiration growing up in terms of being in the kitchen?
Definitely, I would say my nani and my mosis, because I grew up learning to cook and bake from my mosis. Unfortunately, I didn't get to spend a lot of time with my nani in the kitchen as much as I would have loved to, but I have a lot of her recipes and her ideas, and I'm influenced a lot by the women in my family who are great cooks.
Kirti, I'm curious to know, what is your favorite meal?
Well, even though chefs actually produce a lot of gourmet meals and a lot of complicated dishes, I actually just prefer simple food like salads and actually a lot of Indian dishes like chola bhatura, which is the puri, and the chana curry. So I prefer simple food, yeah.
And if you had to pick a dinner guest of choice to serve dinner to, who would you pick?
Definitely my late dad. Yeah, I mean, obviously I miss him a lot, but definitely my dad. I'd love to have one more meal with him because he was a big foodie and he was very proud of my achievements, whatever he was around to see. So definitely my dad. Yeah.
So he was around at the time you won the Sunday Times Chef Award?
When I competed, yes, he was around, yeah.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all wish we'd spent more time with our parents, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah.
Now, one of the things that caught my attention is your pastry boutique. I've seen fabulous pictures on Facebook, and you get a lot of likes, and it looks just yummylicious. So please tell us about your pastry business, but more importantly, I'm curious to know why exactly that name. Maybe you can explain.
Well, I trained, when I trained as a chef, I actually graduated and I qualified in French patisserie and culinary arts. And pastry and baking has always been a big passion of mine, apart from cooking. I think it's a very niche path to take, and I don't think many chefs actually do take it or have the passion and the love for it. A lot of people have given us phenomenal feedback on it, which is great. And boutique boulangerie, well, boutique. I actually also studied fashion design, and the idea and the concept years ago was to actually blend the two together, food and fashion. And so the name just stuck, and I've grown the brand as such. And boulangerie is actually a French word, and boule means bread in French. And a lot of patisseries in France, you'll find as you walk along, it says boulangerie. So you can pick up bread and pastries and croissants. So that's where the idea came from, and obviously being French trained.
So in essence, you brought a bit of France to Durban.
Yes, but I'm also very much influenced by Eastern flavors and Middle Eastern flavors, Asian cuisine, and French as well.
I've also noticed in some of the pictures from your Facebook posts that you use a lot of edible flowers. Now, I'm just curious to know, has that taken off? Do people eat those? Or are they very suspicious and leave it aside? I'm just curious because not everybody, are so adventurous in terms of meals.
Yes, no, that's a really actually good question. We find a lot of people ask us whether it is edible, which is normal. We're trying to build people's knowledge and on food. Some people do eat it. Some people leave it at the side, which is
okay. And where exactly the address of Boutique Boulangerie? I'm sure a lot of our viewers will want to sample some of your delicious fare.
Well, we're situated at 56 Helen Joseph Road in Davenport, Glenwood. And we're in a beautiful old Victorian home that's been refurbished. And we have a deck outside as well.
Okay, so you serve breakfast, lunch and supper?
We have a breakfast and lunch a la carte menu, and then we have our pastry table set up every day. And we also have a lot of people we host a lot of private high teas for guests as well.
And I'm sure a lot of people, because you're an Indian chef, expect you to do the traditional Indians snacks and things, and I've noticed that you've gone really beyond the mold. You do a lot of phyllo pastries and quiches and things like that, which is so good. And I've seen a lot of them are vegetarian, and vegetarians all over the world find us being shortchanged in that we do not have these gourmet snacks anywhere, and you've provided for that for vegetarians.
Vegetarianism and veganism is definitely becoming more popular around the world, and although we know that it's obviously started in India and in Asian and countries, I think it's really taken over in Western society because people are definitely evolving and changing their diet, and in terms of health, veganism and vegetarianism is definitely the way to go. So I have always felt that we need to definitely take that into consideration in the restaurant, that there are actually a lot of people who are vegan and vegetarian who go out looking for a good meal. And our food has always been based on fresh and local and artisanal. So using great vegetables and organic produce and microgreens and micro herbs, and we have a wonderful supplier in Drummond who actually supplies us with all our micro herbs and all our heirloom vegetables and things like that. And it's about the quality of vegetarian food, so that's what we mainly focus on.
And Kirti, I'm so impressed to have learned that your busy lifestyle as a chef, you also find time to study law part-time. So please explain further.
Yes, no, I've always had a love for the academic field, and I felt that apart from my creative side in the kitchen, I felt that I needed to do something more academic. And I love English and I love literature, so I felt law was definitely the field to get into next. And I feel strongly about women's rights and children's rights as well. So I feel law is the next field for me to get into.
There you have it, dear viewers. Kirti Kamal from Boutique Boulangerie. You want to make a stop at Glenwood and visit this scrumptious pastry table. From what I've seen, it's really going to tantalize your taste buds. Now, Kirti, something that's very close to my heart is the promotion of meat-free Mondays. And I'm not sure, as a vegetarian, I'm just worried, are eateries really doing sufficient to promote meat-free Mondays?
To answer the question honestly, I do not think that many restaurants and eateries are actually taking up meat-free Mondays seriously as they could. But I do think that the media and publications and newspapers and magazines and social media, I think they definitely doing a lot to promote meat-free Mondays, which is great.
Now, for our lovely viewers, because I'm a vegetarian, Kirti has lovingly offered to show us what she could do with vegetarian food. Oh wow, Kirti, this looks amazing, and to think that it's all vegetarian. Tell us a little bit about your dishes.
Here I have a phyllo basket, and it's filled with roasted Mediterranean vegetables and a basil and coriander pesto and Danish feta. And then for a light lunch dish, I've got a harissa halloumi salad, and it's got a cumin and coriander dressing. And then on top of that, we've got a herb creme fraiche drizzle and edible flowers and pea shoots.
Oh, that's the edible flowers we were talking about.
Yes.
Now that is a salad for the health nuts, am I right?
Definitely, but it's really scrumptious and yummy and filling with the halloumi, and it's got a little bit of a kick with the harissa chili paste.
Awesome, and I see you have a sweet treat.
Yes, I've got a lovely coconut cupcake, and it's topped with a coconut buttercream and fresh coconut.
Well, there you have it, viewers. You need to make Boutique Boulangerie a top priority to visit. I can assure you, you will not walk away disappointed. Kirti has an amazing operation there, and I can assure you, you'll walk away fully satisfied and definitely going back for more. Kirti, thank you so much for being on our show. We thank you for preparing these lovely meals. I'm sure our viewers are going to get an idea of some of the fare that you have on offer there, and I hope that you grow from strength to strength. You're certainly very talented, and I'm sure your work is going to speak a lot of volume. So thank you, and vanakkam.
No, thank you so much to you for having me on the show, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity.